Where am I now? Yes, good shot, good shot. I'm not feeling very well, so I have some Lemsip. But I just finished training. It went well. Today I was working on getting a bit more spin on my forehand because I'm missing a lot in the net, and that's just not something that can happen. I don't even know if I like dates. Let's try. It's alright. It stays normal. I don't really know what that means. Anyway, I talk about one of the sections that is really important to review and be honest about. Now, obviously that's tennis. I'm at the tennis club. I don't know if you can hear the construction. A little bit annoying. Anyway, where am I at the moment with tennis? Now, I feel like this is actually one of the main reasons I didn't want to make it, just because where I am at the moment isn't something I'm proud of. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No. What's most important is that I'm willing to put the work in to be where I want to be, because, you know, I wasn't. But anyway, yeah, so basically, I am. One moment, let's have a look. Oh, gotta check the markets too. It hasn't made the market structure shift yet, so I'm going to wait. New York's taken out liquidity twice, so now it's just a waiting game. We got an alert. What time is it in the UK? We got an alert on EU for shorts, but I want to double check. I'm going to go for a reduced risk entry on this one. So, at the moment, I am 867th in the country for men's. Now, that's not very good. But if you haven't been competing regularly, it's to be expected. You know, there are people that are out there putting in the work every day, every weekend, every other weekend. So I can't really complain, honestly. Where we want it, ideally in the top 150, 100. Let's say 200, top 200. That's where we want it ideally. So we've got some work to do. I think playing some competitions regularly will definitely help with that, just to get match practice, because I'm a bit out of match practice. So yeah, that's the first one. You know, obviously the goal is to be playing ITFs, but step at a time. You know, I want to focus on the process and I want to be ready. You know, a lot of people just go out there and they just get caned over and over again. And yes, you need to have experience getting caned to acclimatize, but you know, you also need to have elements of your game that's ready. You know, no one wants to get caned out there after spending 500 for every competition, and then once they've finally got used to the environment, realize that their game isn't good enough in the first place. Like, that's killer. So yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. Number 2 is money. Now, there's a lot of numbers that get thrown out around, and one of the main things is that you need to play a lot of competitions. You know, there are some players that are at the top of the game now, and to get there, they played 40 weeks out of the 52, just over and over and over again. So this magic number, or the money that it takes to make it, is 100,000. Now, that's if you want to do it with a coach. But if you want to go for it without a coach and you want to have a good buffer, I've heard 50,000, so roughly half. Now, it's a lot of money. The alternative is that you play so well and so formidably that you are winning a lot more than you're losing, and that amount is nowhere near necessary. 100,000, 50,000 is a lot of money, and of course you can be at the level where you don't need to play that many weeks out of the year. 40 weeks out of the year is a lot, you know. There's areas I'm failing on consistently, and whilst I think that I found this thing that's going to help me, I don't want to shift my focus anymore. I don't want to be distracted anymore. I don't want to be... I want to be steady. There's so much out there in this world that you can just scroll and look at all this information, and how are you supposed to find the right one? And I think it's truly knowing and believing in your goal and exactly the process and how you're going to get there, and you look and focus on nothing but that. I thought I was doing amazing before, but if I look up, I mean, dude, like, nothing changed. I hadn't changed, my situation hadn't changed. So I didn't say what's going to get you the goal, because I've told myself over and over and over and over again that that's not what's the most important. It will come. It is important because it's what you want in the end, but it's not important in the sense that you looking at that is what's going to get you there. Because I've tried it. It doesn't work. It actually doesn't work. It doesn't work. So just a quick summary. My fitness, not it. It needs to be upper echelon, especially if I want to be competing with the best people in the world. There's just no two ways about it. And then I would need to do my competing consistently. Thank you. My competing consistently. There's absolutely no way that it's going to improve my ranking if I'm not competing. There's people that do it day in, day out. No way. And then I need to work on the consistency of my training. Now, these things that I'm mentioning, they come in with funds. So I need to be making smart decisions with my funds. If you want sponsorship, you have to be exposed. You have to show that you are capable of attaining and reaching these levels of exposure. Because if you don't, what's the point in having sponsorship? Like, I'm not too naive, or I'm not expecting that I'm just gonna get handed something. You gotta work for it. You gotta get there. You gotta make it. I'm gonna go back home, settle up, have some Lemsip because I'm not feeling very well. First things first, we're trading. I'm not funded. I have no way of making income from it yet. And I personally chose to go the funding route. No, I know some people are skeptical about it, and I think that's not an incorrect position to be in, or thoughts to have about it. But I'm not going to get into that. That's just what I'm doing at the moment. And obviously my plan is to have my own funds, a personal account that I'm trading from. But for now, I'm still working on being funded. So that's the first thing. Is the consistency of backtesting. Mindset, and also having a clear-cut plan. Now, I think it's very easy to have or find a plan online, but for me, the true definition of a plan is something that you are comfortable relying on, or something that you can feel like you can sit back into when the time arises that you should use it, or even when something goes wrong. And for me personally, I don't have that. I don't have something that I'm comfortable doing. That's why people say work on your plan, work on your plan, work on your plan. So for me, that's something that I'm trying to work on at the moment, and I'm tweaking it. So that's another thing for me at the moment. It's just not having a plan that I feel like I can really rely on. This next section is about connecting the dots, and initially I called it bridging the gap, but I think that's a bit of a defeatist mindset. It's the mindset that I am behind, that you are behind, that we are behind, and I don't think that's the place I want to be operating from anymore. Yes, it used to feel like it empowered me, but why do I always have to be chasing somebody else? Why can't I be shooting for the best me, or whatever it might be? I don't think closing the gap made sense for me. Not anymore. So one thing that has helped me is me holding myself accountable to a standard of training or backtesting or whatever, that I'd be happy to show my future self, because no one wants to live with regret, right? So if I'm happy to show me in the future what I'm doing at this current point and look back on it and be like, do you know what? He gave it his best. Do you know what? He genuinely pushed for better and better. Then I'll be okay, because there's nothing more you can do than that, Me personally, I'm part of a group at the moment, and that group has helped me like tenfold. I can't even describe. I think just having a body of like-minded people who are all striving for better in not just trading but life in general, it's really nice to be around. And I think also people to call you out on your rubbish, that helps a lot, I'm going to be honest, because we all do it sometimes. But they've introduced me to people like Andy Frisella, or of course someone like Goggins, or all of those people in that kind of sphere that help with motivational things or mindset things, that help with motivational speaking and mindset. But it's not about just watching that stuff, because it goes over and over again. Hold on, drinks break. Thirsty. I also wrote down here that making sure that every single day I've done something towards my goal. And in my head, becoming a professional tennis player or a trader or whatever it is, yes, it takes a while. Yes, it takes hard work. Yes, it's not something that just happens quickly. But I think why it needs to be so consistent over such a long period is that at the end of the day, like if you do 1 hour of backtesting a week for the whole year, that's 52 hours. Now take away the time where you were sick. Now take away the time where you weren't really focused. Now take away the time where you went downstairs and you got a coffee, right? Then that 52 weeks goes down to 40 weeks, I don't know. The consistency is the most important thing. And it sounds cliche, but just taking that little tiny step each time, each day, I think it can really make a difference. And I feel better within my mind with the things that I'm doing. And instead of taking it away from 52 weeks, I want my odds to be versus 365 days, because the odds are so much better. Like, even if I do have those times, I know that the majority of the time, or a lot more than it would have been once a week back testing. I mean, come on, like, let's be real. How bad you want it? Really? How bad you actually want it? Yeah, I thought I was a hard worker. I was introduced to the fact that I was lazy, and it sucks because that word is used and received as an insult. I've heard it before and I would have been offended by it, but you know, things have been the same too much, too long. So guys, to finish off the video, yeah, I guess to bridge the gap, you know, I had a great start to Q4. A rough one, I'm going to be honest, a real rough one, but a good start. You know, I started doing a 30-day challenge, and in this 30-day challenge, I have a morning routine: lemon water, cold shower, exercise, stretch. I back test for an hour every day. I am training on my own. This is aside from any other training that I do, for an hour a day. I'll make sure I do my ASR every day. I forecast the night before. So these are all habits that I'm trying to build, you know, extra stretching, and I make sure that every day I can tick them all off. It's my routine. Am I tired? Yes. Do I feel better for it? Hell yeah. The change in how I feel mentally, it can't be denied. It really can't be denied. So I can't complain. Hope, you know, I'm gonna talk the way I needed it to be, you know. I had to go after the day. I've got to be aggressive, you know, and I think everyone's different. Some people need a different type of kind of push. But this is something that I've had on my desk whilst I've been finishing the challenge. I'm gonna block out a word. But this has kept me going. That's kept me going. I'm not really sure how to end the video, but thank you for watching. You know, I wasn't sure what to do after I'd finished the challenge, but this is me now. It's got to be me, because any other way of operating, in my opinion, is not good enough. Any other way of operating, in my opinion, is not good enough. I'm going to talk in a way that kind of helps me, and hopefully it helps you too. No one cares. No one cares that you're busy. No one cares that you have work. No one cares that, you know, it's really hard and you get back late. Because at the end of the day, the one that's going to be suffering is me and you. Like, no one's going to come rescue you in that sense. And it's got to get it done. Just do it. Yeah, just do it. I don't think I've got anything more to say. So, yeah. See you in the next video. I hope you found whatever it is that you're looking for, and you can kind of get to working on your own.